Hey there, Scorpio. Welcome to reading for, this is for the eclipse in Aries that is going to be happening on the 20th of the month. And we're just going to do, I'm going to pull 5 rows, and each row is going to represent something different. So in this first row, it's just going to represent your general energies for the eclipse. And you have this persistence card. It says your persistence will pay off. Don't give up now. Literally the 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands isn't necessarily of a card of persistence, but I do believe that you need persistence to complete the 10 of Wands. The 10 of Wands, those 10 Wands are a harvest that this man has planted, and he's about to reach his home here. So personally, I consider the 10 of Wands to be a good card because he's about to have a harvest in his life. But he is burdened. But again, I know a lot of readers read it as a bad card, but really, it's like, I think it just comes from the idea that burdens are a bad thing, but really they're not. It's like, obviously, if you want to be super successful in life, it's not going to just like happen like super easily, right? You're going to be burdened. There are going to be responsibilities and things you have to do. It's just part of life. And, so again, if you have been burdened or have been experiencing burdens, it looks to me like you actually are, this is saying don't give up, keep going, because you're about to accomplish something that you've been hoping that you would accomplish for probably a long time, I would say. There you go. Confirmation right there. Right? And so, that's what I would say is that normally I silence my phone, so I don't even know why that went off, but because I didn't silence my phone. But I feel like there's kind of something that's going on here. Let's dig into it. You also have the King of Swords here, and for a lot of you, by the way, just like in general, I would say that if you're trying to bring anything to an end, or if you're trying to end some sort of like challenge or difficulty in your life, I feel that for you, that finding an expert would be a really good idea. For you, this eclipse, could have a little bit to do with like your health, or, even it could have to do with kind of like anything involving communication as well. So for a lot of you, it's just popping into my head that, King of Swords I look at as an expert, and sometimes, like frequently in readings, I will say that the King of Swords can represent a person who can solve your problems very quickly, but it's usually like an expert, and gender doesn't matter. It could be any gender, right? But it's like, if you have a legal problem, go to a lawyer. You have a medical problem, go to a doctor. If you have any other problem, find an expert, right? They exist everywhere. And for some of you, this might not even cost money. There's tons of information for free here on YouTube. So if you have a problem with your business, maybe you can learn about it on YouTube, right? Obviously, if you have a serious problem, I feel like I shouldn't have to explain this, but I do. If you have a serious problem, find a person that you go to, like a doctor, if it's a health issue, right? But other than that, I don't know. I feel like your problem will be solved very quickly. So, that's what I would do. You have this Magician card. Definitely a very good eclipse for water signs. I'm a big fan of this eclipse for the water signs in general. But what I would say is that I feel for a lot of you, it's going to be really good for manifestation. Even your last row is going to represent what you could be manifesting, or what you should work on manifesting during this eclipse, and it looks amazing. You have one of my favorite cards in the that whatever this deck is here that I can never remember the name of, Wisdom of the Oracle. I love that new life card. It's amazing. She's like being lifted up on a pedestal. So I think that you're kind of like really being lifted up here, or you could be manifesting that. With the 10 of Wands, you have the 5 of Wands. Yeah, don't give up. It's like, I think we all have those moments where we try to work on something like a business or a YouTube channel, or we want to get into a relationship, and we start having those insecurities that pop up for whatever reason. I'm not really getting any of the traditional 5 of Wands stuff here. I'm just getting like insecurities that pop up where maybe you feel like you're not good enough to start your business, or you feel like you're not good enough to be in that relationship. And I kind of feel like this is encouraging you to like not think like that. I think it's saying, no, you need to quiet those thoughts, and you need to focus more on your strengths. With the King of Swords, you have the 5 of Swords. Yeah, 5 of Swords is like winning at all cost. Some of you, of course, could be kind of like clearing out relationships, or you could be cutting things out of your life. And I would actually say this is probably a good thing, because it looks to me like you're much more focused on, people who you can work together with the 3 of Pentacles, or it's like you're only focusing on, those types of relationships where you can like work together with people, and you're kind of getting rid of like people who are more toxic, right? With the Magician, you have the Moon. The Moon is a card of manifestation, believe it or not. It's a card of mysteries. It can represent fears, illusions, and things like that. But, personally, I always say that the Moon kind of represents something that you need to bring down to Earth, something you need to manifest here on Earth. So I feel for a lot of you, it's like there's something that you need to create here on Earth, something you've been dreaming about, probably something that could be a little bit challenging, not going to sugarcoat it, but the moon doesn't say stop. The moon normally has a path straight down to some mountains in the background, and those mountains represent an achievement. So, I would get working. And look, even when we go this way, a major achievement right here, the world. And in between that, you got some little things to kind of like overcome, like the Five of Cups, needing to be grateful for what you have. Four of Pentacles, letting go of the past. Five of Wands, needing to kind of go on the adventure, needing to get started. Next, we are going to look at what could be ending during this eclipse. You have this caregiver card. It says support, seek advice. I literally just said this with this King of Swords, getting help. And so I would definitely do that. I don't think this necessarily is something that's ending. I think it's something you should do. You have this divine support card. It says guidance, angelic signs, higher self, synchronicities, deeper purpose, soul calling. I feel like you could be getting like signs or symbols that something needs to come to an end in your life. I really don't get a feeling. Again, I don't try to make these readings fit, and I don't really get necessarily an ending here. I'm not suggesting you won't have endings. I'm getting more like a start. Really this row here is meant to represent something that's starting, but maybe what is coming to an end is the waiting. You have the Three of Wands here, and I always say with the Three of Wands, it kind of says like, what are you waiting for? It's a card of waiting for the perfect moment when there never will be a perfect moment, and that is definitely like a sign of the times. To me, this perfectly describes the next 20 years, the Three of Wands. It's like I think we'll see a lot of people who kind of get caught up waiting. It's like we'll see probably people in life where it's like they just are waiting, they never get started, and before you know it, they wake up one day and they didn't do anything. So don't be one of those people, right? I would get started on whatever dream, goal, wish it is that you have. You have the Three of Pentacles. There are people who want to help you. We are in a time of teamwork. I always tell people that teamwork makes the dream work right now for the next 20 years at least. Anything that can benefit the collective is going to be very beneficial for you. And, so anything you do to work together with other people, very important. I would say the other important thing here is quality. We have Uranus and Taurus, and Uranus and Taurus is all about values and quality. So it's like if you have a business or a career, it's like if you make sure that what you're doing is quality work, you will get paid more money. You will make more money. You will get raises and promotions. So, it's kind of popping into my head very simply here that focusing on quality would be a good idea. You also have the Five of Cups. Five of Cups, he just needs to turn around, and sorry I didn't switch. He needs to see those two cups right there, because when he's grateful for what he does have, he gets this bridge and this castle, and the bridge and the castle will lead to a lot of success for him. So he kind of like needs to wake up to, the future. He needs to wake up to like new beginnings, and that's what I feel like this is saying. Let's see. With the Three of Wands, you have the Three of Swords. Yeah, again, I mean, some of you could be holding on to a heartbreak. Probably something that brought conflict into your life. So, I would be careful of that for sure. It looks to me like you're ready for something new, though. I mean, you have the Lovers at the end here, the New Life card. So it's like some of you probably are just healing from this. And again, this is what is ending. So, it would say that maybe what's ending is a heartbreak. With the Three of Pentacles, you have the Knight of Cups, Knight in Shining Armor coming in for you. So if you want love, again, it is a good time for love for water signs. I literally said this in the yearly readings for 2022. I said that for water signs, literally like the end of April, or like, well, really the end of March, but into April, into May, the summer, really good time for love for water signs. So if you want it, it definitely could be showing up here. The Knight of Cups, he's also normally looking into that cup, and he's kind of like scrying. He's, kind of imagining his future or picturing his future. And so a lot of you, I feel this is saying like it's time to take a leap of faith towards whatever dreamy idea you have right now, like in work, in business, or just in your life in general. With the Five of Cups, you have the Three of Cups. Three of Cups is like a celebration, happiness, and a card of community. So I feel there are a lot of benefits for community with you. Next, we're going to look at any new beginnings that could be coming in for you. This card says when you stop time, you'll decide to walk away. We just said this. Time's up, had enough, exhausted, you know better. So some of you are just ready for a new beginning and ready to walk away maybe from a situation. For some of you, I don't even think this has to do with love. You have the Fool, the Four of Cups, and the Four of Pentacles, holding on to something that has brought conflict into your life here. So, I feel like you're just ready for a new beginning, literally. In the area of new beginnings, you have the card of new beginnings, the Fool. So, I feel like you're ready. I actually feel like you're over-prepared. He has this sack on his back here, and it's just a tiny little sack that he's got. And, it kind of represents that he has everything he needs right here, right between his two ears. So he has all the knowledge and wisdom he needs to be successful. And he's about to go on a long-ass journey. He's about to go through the entire major arcana. You end with the world. In the tarot, the Fool's journey is we start as a Fool, we go to the world, then we start all over again as a Fool. So we're always going through this, cycle in life. And it's not a bad thing. It's, it's a good thing. It's how we learn. It's how we experience life. And, it just is what it is. So I feel like you're in this cycle, but going this way right here, I almost feel like you're about to have a very quick cycle in your life. It's kind of it's kind of interesting because going to that Seven of Pentacles, I almost have the word epiphany popping into my head. Seven of Pentacles, he's looking at these Seven Pentacles and he's saying, is the juice worth the squeeze? Is all the work I did to get this result, those Seven Pentacles, is it worth it or not? And for a lot of you, I actually feel like this eclipse in particular, I think right away, this is not something, eclipse seasons usually last about 6 months. So, this eclipse season will be going until October. But what I would say is, I feel like this is something, a wake-up call, an epiphany that you have right away, right at the beginning of the eclipse season, where you realize that maybe something isn't worth it, or you see a new opportunity that's very worth it, and this could be in any area of your life, and I feel like it leads to an accomplishment very quickly. It's almost like you're completing a Fool's journey, which is just, again, we go through many of these during life. It's like you're completing one very quickly. I hope that makes sense. You have the Four of Cups. I feel like you've been disappointed by things in the past with the Four of Cups. I do feel some of you are kind of healing, I almost get healing on this Four of Pentacles. Again, Four of Pentacles can represent holding on to something too tightly. And then we go this way, we go to the Seven of Pentacles to the Knight of Wands. It's the Knight of Wands, he has this, he has this thirst for adventure. He has desires. He embraces mystery as well. He is also kind of I consider him to be the true builder in the tarot, because he's a builder in the sense that he sets out on a journey because he feels excited about it, because he wants to set out on a journey, and he kind of learns as he goes. He builds the things that he needs as he goes. With the Fool, you have the Knight of Wands. Oh my God, it's almost like I knew this was going to happen. There you go. So, I feel like you're starting this new journey, and it's one where, things fall into place. Again, it's I feel like you're able to build the tools in on your journey very quickly. And, what I'm referring to here is if it's a relationship, I feel like you could be getting into a relationship with a person where it's how to work with the person. That's what I mean by building. It's how to, calm them down, or maybe they know how to calm you down. Maybe they know how to please you or make you happy or whatever, right? It's almost the tools are there. I hope that makes sense. Same thing in business. I'm not suggesting that you're going to start something and be a billionaire overnight, but it's almost as if an obstacle shows up, you know how to overcome it very quickly, and you know how to work through it. And I feel like it's almost like I see you kind of building it, I hope that makes sense. Probably not. With the Four of Cups, you have the World. Yeah, everything we just talked about. So definitely could be a quick conclusion. It is almost like saying, once you let something go as well from the past, I think it's going to lead to this success very quickly. With the Four of Pentacles, you have the Five of Cups. Yeah, this is disappointment. There is some sort of disappointment that you could be holding on to. And again, not calling you out here, Scorpio, but, it could be a past person, past situation, take how it resonates. But I do feel like you are letting go of it. So it's not even I don't even think it's that big of a deal. Even in your next row here, which is going to be your next major change, you have this reclaim card. So it's almost like you're reclaiming your power from something that stole your power. I'm wondering if you're having a revelation here with that Seven of Pentacles as to how much power you were giving to something, like a person, a place, or a thing. And I feel like sometimes I don't know, I just think we have those wake-up calls all of a sudden where we're oh my God, I see how this was holding me back. I see how this situation was preventing me from success. And it's maybe just took you a little bit of time to realize it, but it's now that you've had the realization, you are reclaiming your power here. You have the King of Wands, Seven of Pentacles, and the Five of Wands. Again, we've talked about this to death now. So again, I feel like you're just reclaiming your power. You're having the realization. I personally like the Seven of Pentacles because, again, he's probably, and I say probably because we don't actually know, And it's going to be different for all of you, but he's probably going to take that one pentacle and he's probably going to bring it forward to a new situation. So he's leaving something in the past and he's bringing forward the knowledge and wisdom to a new situation, whatever it is, love, business, money, spirituality, health, doesn't really matter. So he's bringing forward everything he learned, his experience, but he's starting new. He's starting fresh, and you end with this new life card, so makes perfect sense. You have the Five of Wands twice in your reading. Five of Wands to me is a card I call Indiana Jones, because to me it's a card of like going through some sort of crazy adventure to get some treasure. So I think it's been a wild ride for you, Scorpio, just life in general, and you're about to make a change. But it looks like a change for the better, or a change for success. You have the King of Wands here. King of Wands is like bold, assertive. I kind of feel like this is the energy that you need to embrace. It's kind of funny because I don't think, there is love here, but I don't necessarily, maybe the Knight of Cups could be the person that's coming in, but intuitively I just don't see this person yet in the reading. That we still have more clarification to do, so that might change, but I kind of feel this is more your energy. I feel like you're bold, assertive, and again, the thing to me about the Fire Court cards is that they learn as they go. They're not afraid to enter into a new situation, and they're not afraid to like figure it out as they move forward. But it's also like you have that reclaim card, and I feel like you could be reclaiming your power by it's like you're calling the shots now, in your life. And this is like a good thing. With the King of Wands, you have the Judgment card. Are you kidding? An epiphany, a wake-up call, everything that I said on that Seven of Pentacles. So, it's like whatever wake-up call you're having, I think that's what gives you true power. That's what's going to give you, the forward motion that you've been looking for. That's kind of like the words I was getting. With the Seven of Pentacles, you have the Queen of Swords, clarity. She finally sees things clearly for the first time. Very simple reading here, Scorpio. It's like you have the clarity you need to move forward in life. Love it. I love this simple because it means it's going to be easy. Easier. With the Five of Wands, you have the Nine of Swords. I would stop telling yourself stories. I kind of get this energy in your reading here of needing to find out. I kind of feel like this is true for everyone because we have Neptune and Pisces. Neptune and Pisces, we can have these ideas about things in life, these dreams, goals, wishes, good things, bad things, doesn't matter. Neptune and Pisces, like the Seven of Cups, it exists above our head. It is very, nebulous. It's very, you can't touch it. You can't feel it. It's also very murky as well. And I've been talking about this for years because it's like a major thing that is affecting us right now. And really, I feel like this is saying but when we do this, right, when we dream about something and we don't take action, it's like we can start thinking the worst of a situation. But I feel like this reading is saying, no, you need to take action on the things that you're dreaming about so you can find out actually how those things are going to turn out. Next for, what are we doing? What can you manifest right now with this eclipse? You have this new life card, so a new life. I love this card in this deck because she's like glowing, number one. Number two, she's like at the top of this pedestal here. So I feel for a lot of you, it's like you could, not only are you manifesting a new life, but you could also be manifesting like a very favorable position in your life that is going to lead to success. You have the Knight of Wands, the Lovers, the World here. The Knight of Wands, again, I feel is what everyone has to do right now. I think that we really have to move towards our desire, like things that we feel like we want to do in life. If we do that, we will find success. So I would definitely encourage that. I would also still encourage flexibility. Like the last eclipse we had, in Taurus last year, to me, that eclipse basically said, we need to be super flexible. We need to have something that we work towards in life, goal, wish, dream, whatever. And how we get there, we need to be flexible. We might set out to have a certain plan on how we're going to accomplish it, but we need to be open to spontaneous energy. And I feel like that's what that card is saying. You have the Lovers. Definitely could be attracting new love into your life if you want it. I really don't see a person here. So I don't know. It might be one of those things where maybe maybe it's not gonna happen like right now in the month of April. Maybe it's gonna happen later on during this eclipse season or whatever the case may be. But again, to me, tarot is timeless, so who cares? But definitely could be love. You have the World, some sort of accomplishment or completion coming in for you. So you're definitely wrapping up a cycle. But again, I can't get away from this right here. I don't know if it's like, it's not really wrapping up a cycle. It's almost like you're learning a lesson, but I don't even think that's accurate. It's not a lesson. It's like you're doing something very quickly. It's like maybe you set out to have some sort of new beginning, and because of this epiphany or realization you're having, you're accomplishing something much faster. It's like you're getting through the entire major arcana very quickly. That's like the weird message that I keep getting with that diagonal there. So I don't know, pretty interesting. With the Knight of Wands, you have the Knight of Pentacles here. This could be the person that's coming in for you. This is a little bit cautious, a little bit too cautious. Could be a little slow. It seems like everybody's a little slow in love right now, which is fine. Like, I wouldn't necessarily rush anyway, but, you could be attracting a Knight of Pentacles type person. I also do feel like your finances are improving. With the Lovers, you have the Queen of Pentacles. I thought you had the King of Pentacles, but no. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I feel like you're attracting a lot more abundance, a lot more resources. Definitely could be attracting an Earth sign into your life for sure. But I feel like you're mostly kind of like increasing your resources. With the World, you have the Magician, and you start with the Magician over here. Look at this. It's like the dream to the reality right here. I love this, Scorpio. The Magician and the Moon is, again, just up here. It's like imagining something. The Magician with the World is actually bringing that dream down to earth. So I feel like some of you could be like manifesting a dream life or a new life here, one where you're kind of like on a pedestal or something like that. But this is a really good reading. I love it. So love it. Thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy the eclipse.